Most people believe that cold email funnel stops once the campaign is launched, but launching a campaign and handling all the replies are two completely different things. And in today's video, I'm going to show you everything that you need to know in order to book as many calls as possible from your positive and interested leads. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Jovan and I've helped over 300 agencies book thousands of sales calls. I use AI and cold email to book hundreds of calls for my own agency, Codeful, and I've also built an all-in-one AI cold email platform called Prospi. There are two main things when it comes to inbox management. The first one is quick responses or speed to lead, and the second one is how personalized our replies actually are. And in today's video, we're going to cover both of them and explain why they matter and how you can actually solve them. So first of all, you're probably already familiar with this, but the sooner you get back to the leads who showed interest in your service or your offer, the higher the chances of you actually converting them and booking the call. Ultimately, what we want to achieve with our inbox management system is to get back to these leads as soon as possible, ideally within minutes. And secondly, just copy-pasting a generic template and sending that to every single lead won't work because of multiple reasons. For example, some people have custom questions they want answered, or their availability is maybe not. They're busy this week and want to schedule next week, so you can't just copy paste the exact same template to everyone. First, let's discuss how we can make inbox management easier. The first thing that we implemented into our cold email funnel when it comes to inbox management is AI classifier. Now, I'm going to show you some examples from within Prospi, but you can also use NA10, Make, or other tools to implement this system yourself. So what we want to do is we want to have a couple of statuses. For example, we have interested, meeting ready, referral, not interested. We also have out of office and other statuses. So what AI does in this specific example is whenever we see a reply, before getting notified about that specific reply, AI would actually scan and read the entire email and let us know which status that email is in. So, for example, if someone replies not interested, remove me from your list, we don't want to waste our time on that specific lead. So instead of that, what we want to do is only focus on people who are actually interested in working with us. And that's the first step. Like, first we need to understand what type of reply that is. You can use any of the modern AI models to do this, but essentially what it does is scans the entire email and classifies the responses. Now, the next step is the notification. We can't be logged into our email sending platform 24/7 and monitor and track all the replies. It's just not efficient. So what we want to do instead is we want to have a system where whenever a positive reply comes in, we instantly get notified. Now, most email sending platforms have similar functionalities. You can connect them to Zapier and so on, and usually within 3 to 5, maybe 10 minutes, you'll receive a notification. In Prospi, we actually managed to reduce that time needed. So usually you get a notification for every single positive reply within 3 to 5 seconds. So that's the first thing. Like, we want to have AI to classify the responses. As soon as AI figures out that someone is interested, we want to be notified via email and also Slack. Now, one other thing that we added is you can actually click to reply directly from this email notification, or suggest a reply directly from Slack. I'm going to cover that in a sec. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You can also configure it to send maybe notifications to your mobile phone or whatever, but we found email and Slack to be the most efficient ones. Now, that's the first thing. That's how we solve the speed to lead metric. So as soon as someone replies, AI classifies the responses. If they're interested or referral or meeting ready, we instantly get notified via Slack and email. The second part of inbox management is actually writing effective replies that move the conversation forward. As I said, we don't want to send generic templates to everyone. What I see a lot of people do is they just send their Calendly link and expect people to magically book calls into their calendar. It doesn't work like that. All the replies need to be as personalized as possible. So we need to do 3 different things or 3 steps with every single reply that we send. The first one is acknowledge and answer their query, because a lot of people would actually ask additional questions and so on. So we can't just ignore them and send them our website or booking link. We actually need to get back to them and answer their questions first. That's the first thing. The second step is to personalize all the responses to reflect their needs or pain points. Again, you should personalize all these replies based on their industry, target audience, or maybe their service or something like that, depending on what your offer is, but you need to make sure that all the replies are actually personalized. And finally, we want to provide a clear call to action to guide them forward. Another mistake that I see a lot of people do is they just say, let me know what you think, or let me know if this is interesting. Like, you're not asking and prompting people to actually continue the conversation with you. So you should always have some type of at least one question for, not at least, but exactly one question for your lead. So instead of just sending a calendar or something like that, you can say something like, does tomorrow at 2 p.m. your time zone work for you for a quick meeting or something like that? So to sum it up, acknowledge and answer their query, personalize the response, and provide a clear call to action. Now, let me show you some examples so you can see how it works in practice. A bad reply example would be something like this. Thank you for your interest. Here's our website link where you can read about what we do. Website link. Let me know if you have any more questions or want to book a call, or maybe even pasting the calendar link. Now, this is a terrible reply. You can do something like this in the beginning if you're still not sure how to set up the entire system. But I assure you, like, if you have a soft call to action, or you're not pitching the call in the first email, but instead you're pitching some lead magnet or additional information, and you reply like this to every single lead, your booking rate will be less than 10%, which is terrible. Now, let me show you what a good reply example would actually look like. It can be shorter than this, but I wanted to include all the different steps so you understand the purpose of it. So, hi, first name. Thank you for your question. I'd love to walk you through how we can help. Like, this is the reply to their specific question. Then we specialize in working with SaaS companies just like their company. So this is personalized around them. For example, we recently helped client, a SaaS company in related niche, increase lead conversions by 25% in 3 months. So we sum up essentially how we can help exactly their company. So not a generic template. Would you be open to a quick 10-minute demo this week? Here's my availability. And you provide them some options in their time zone. That's very important, especially if you work globally. If these times don't work, feel free to book a time that's more convenient, and only then you provide a calendar link. You see how answering to this email, even though it's a bit longer than the previous one, is actually 10 times easier, because they can just say, yes, Tuesday works or Wednesday works. Or if those don't work, they will get back to you with some additional times or book the call directly from the link. But you see the point. Like, it's much easier to reply to this email. Let me show you the entire structure of a high impact reply. You want to start with personalization. For example, glad you mentioned, and then something they mentioned in their reply. You want to answer all the questions and address their objections. For example, our service integrates with your CRM and can start showing results within 30 days. You want to add additional value and additional information because you got their attention. That's your chance to essentially bring and provide some extra value while they're still in the inbox. Keep in mind, we are getting back to them within minutes, most likely within 1 or 2 minutes. So they're still in the inbox, so they're more likely to read the reply, even though it's longer. If you wait 24 hours to get back to your leads and you send 6 sentences, there's no way in the world they would read that. And finally, end with a clear CTA. Would you be open to a quick 10-minute call this week to explore how we can help? Now, to make this even better is you tell them exactly what they can expect from this demo call. So yeah, that's basically the entire structure. As I said, this is a very important point. Sending a calendar link only can feel impersonal and may add a friction to the process. As I said, you never want to do that. You can include your calendar link as an option, but definitely not as the main or default call to action. You want to have something simpler, something easier to say yes to. What we usually do is we include the booking link in the signature of the email, but the call to action is completely different. The right way to book meetings is to check the prospect's time zone. So instead of just sending the calendar or letting them know about your availability in your own time zone, so they have to do the conversion and everything. Remember, these are cold leads. They have no time to waste. So the easier you can make for them to actually book the call, the higher the chances of actually booking the call. So we want to check their time zone. We want to offer 2 or 3 specific time slots, and we want to include the calendar link for flexibility. Again, we do this in the signature of the email. Now, we've also built and trained AI agent that can do this. It essentially checks their location and converts our calendar availability directly to their time zone. So this process can be automated as well, but this is what you have to do if you want to increase your booking rate from your cold email campaigns. One other thing that we built inside of Prospi, again, you can build this yourself or you can use our platform, it doesn't really matter, but it definitely makes the entire process easier. And that thing is AI suggested replies. What it means is you can essentially provide all the campaign information and tell AI assistant which tone it needs to use, how to structure the email, and so on. For example, let's say in the initial cold email, you pitch them a video, a 5-minute video that explains how you can solve their problem. So every single reply needs to include the link to that video in the email body. So instead of copy pasting it every single time manually, what you can do is you can essentially train AI assistant and enter campaign information. In this case, you could say something like, every time someone replies positively, please make sure to include this video, make it personalized to their specific needs, and so on. One other thing that we did inside of Prospi is that the AI assistant automatically has access to all the lead details, including their target audience, their website, their service name, their location, everything. So that ensures that essentially every single reply is as personalized as possible. To sum it up, you train AI how to reply, what to write, you provide leads details to make every reply personalized, and finally you give it access to the lead magnet that you want to share with all the leads. Now, the next thing is handling common objections. So you need to understand how to answer the questions. A lot of leads would actually ask questions in the initial reply because they want to know more and so on. And what I see a lot of people do wrong is they essentially write an entire essay on why they're the best, why their solution solves their problem, and so on. You don't want to do that. You want to answer clearly and directly. A lot of people try to use corporate language and professional language in the emails, when in reality, a lot of people and a lot of leads actually prefer language that's more relatable and natural to them. So you should always get back to your leads and write initial emails like you're writing to a friend. You don't need to use LOL and other similar words, but still the language, the overall language can be casual and friendly. So that's what you want to achieve in the replies as well. So you want to answer clearly and directly using casual language. You want to add value beyond the answer. We already explained that. And you want to guide them to the next step. You want to make it super clear to them exactly what they need to do to proceed. To sum it up, there are 5 things that you can do to increase your conversion rate after you receive a positive reply. The first one is you need to stay responsive with Slack and email notifications. Now, you need to be careful which email sending platform you choose, because some of them have delays by default. You want to choose a platform that has the lowest time needed for you to actually get a notification. You want to use AI for personalized and thoughtful responses. Again, as personalized as possible, direct language, not a lot of information, but directly answering their questions. You want to handle all the objections and questions with care. And finally, you want to book meetings thoughtfully. If you follow all these steps, I guarantee you'll book at least twice as many calls just by following these steps. And good thing is most of these things can actually be automated with AI. And finally, you want to track and manage conversations at scale. You want to test different approaches, similarly to how you A/B test your initial cold email campaign. You want to do the exact same thing with your replies. To sum it up, if you follow all these steps, you'll definitely book more calls. You can leverage AI to get instant notifications and craft personalized replies, and guaranteed you'll book more calls. I hope this video was useful, and if you're interested in learning more about how you can leverage AI and cold email to scale your agency, then make sure to subscribe to the channel because I'll be posting videos like this every single week.